Hello, my name is Joran, this is Patch Tuesday, and I've decided to make a little bit of a techno patch using just a 6U system, so let's dive right into it. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that little jam. So what we've got here is basically just 3 layers in this patch. First layer is the kick drum. And let's listen to that in isolation. So this part of the patch is simply one filter 8 being pinged. And that's sent through Fold 6 and into Mix 3. Using Fold 6, we can change the timbre. And of course there's a contour one on there as well, providing our pitch envelope. Now this filter 8 is also playing a little melody, so it's doubling as both a kick drum and a bass voice. Our second layer consists of our little percussive sounds. So what we're hearing here is simply orbitry. In audio range, creating noisy sounds. We take the EP output and that goes into Mix 3 with an envelope on it. And this envelope is provided by this contour one. Now to add some dynamic element to this, so we're not just playing the same decay time all the time, but we want, a rhythmic element to it. We are modulating the decay rate on our contour 1. So a very, very simple way to create some percussion sounds using orbit 3 and a contour 1. And mix 3, of course. Now our third layer in this patch is this lead sound, which sounds like it's very far away, which adds a lot of space to our patch, and that's provided by delay 1. So if we listen to it just dry, it's 2 generate trees, one phase modulating and reset syncing the other. That goes through filter 8, our second filter 8 in the patch, and that then goes through delay 1. So to change the timbre, I can play with the frequencies and the phase control. I can play with filter 8, which of course is also getting an envelope from our fourth contour 1 here. Can set the modulation depth, add some more resonance. And now let's add that delay 1 on top again, turn up the blend. And our delay 1 is simply set to the maximum delay time. Plenty of feedback. You can add some damping in there. Moderate blend. And we're also providing a little bit of modulation. So our first filter 8, which is taking care of our kick drum and bass duties. We're taking an output from that one and modulating the time. And this gives us these very sudden, quick audio rate time modulations on delay 1 for every kick drum. And this adds this springiness to the sound, so it's almost like a spring reverb at times. And if I turn up the time modulation, this becomes very apparent. Alright, let's listen to everything together. What's fun about patching something like this with a system, with a modular system, with Joranalogue modules, is that there's so many parameters to play with. So if you enjoy making live techno music, then this is pretty much a dream come true. Now for sequencing, we're using a pair of step 8s and one route 4. Step 8 on the left, we can call that our main sequencer. That's playing this constant melody. And we're also taking some gate outputs, combining those into add-2s. And those are used for two things. The first ones, these two white cables on the first and fifth gate outputs, those take care of triggering our kick drum. So if I take one out, So those two are combined into this add 2, and the result goes into the ping inputs. So these two gate outputs are combined into our first add 2, and the output from that goes into the ping input on our leftmost filter 8. And that's how we're triggering the kick drum sounds. Now we're also taking a few other outputs, and those are used to create the rhythmic percussion layer. So as I mentioned, we are making sure that there is some dynamic modulation of this contour 1, which in turn gives us these closed open hi-hat type sounds. If I remove the modulation, you'll hear just a constant pattern. Also nice, but not as musical, let's say. So the way we achieve that is by taking a number of these outputs. In this case, the third outputs, the sixth outputs are all combined, as well as the eighth output. So these three are going into second add 2, and the output from that does two things. Firstly, it slightly frequency modulates our orbit tree, and secondly, it's sent to select 2, which then inverts and attenuates those gates to create these slight negative voltages, and those modulate the rates. So what's going to happen is that the decay rate is being slowed down on those steps. If they were positive, they would speed them up, so the pattern would be the other way around. Which also sounds nice, but in this case we want longer hits on those beats. And then for our lead sound, we are using the step 8 on the right. And that one is driven by the 7th gate output of our first step 8. So in effect, it's going to run 8 times slower than the left one. And you can see that on the LEDs. We've got a reset from the 5th output, or 5th gate output, to the reset input. So that limits our melody to 4 pitches. And then we simply take that output, send it through route 4 in latch mode. And we're taking another gate output to another input. So what's happening here is that we are playing this melody 2 times. First normal, and secondly with a 1 volt offset. So it plays the same melody 1 octave higher. And that creates this kind of call and response effect, where we're playing the same melody 2 times, but with an interval of 1 octave. We can play with the switches on route 4. And we'll get different variations. So that's one more element you can play with. And that's how this patch works. So we're not using that many modules, really. We're just using simple 6U travel system to make some fun music. So let's have another quick jam, and I'd like to thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone you might think would find this useful. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.